Welcome to Will's World, your will overall, powered by Third Gen Physical Therapy and Sports Science Institute.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, good evening, whenever you're listening. Thanks for listening. We're back. We missed last week, guys. We were a little busy, got kind of caught off track a little bit, but man, I'm glad that happened. Got a chance to do some things, and I'm recharged and I'm excited. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the mind of Michael Beasley. Um, he's his clips are being kind of circulated a little bit more, and he gave an awesome title to today's episode. So I can't take credit for it, but I can feel what he's saying. And the title for today's episode is "We Only Know to Love Who We Know to Love." I know a lot of people are probably looking at that and saying to themselves, like, what is he even talking about? But it was something he said that just stuck with me. And the pillars for our talk today are going to kind of sort of expand on what he said. I'm not taking credit for what Bees said, not at all, but I can admire it because what he was saying, he was genuine. So the first pillar of today's talk is going to be choosing family to watch and follow with the knowing that you're probably going to die with them. And when I say to die with them, I don't mean to literally die with them, but you're going to lose all. Or the second pillar, which is choosing to cut family off and die alone. And when I say die alone, I mean go into the world we deem to be the jungle or the concrete jungle, and hopefully you can come out to the other side of it a whole person. Or the third piece, saying no and loving them without guilt. Man, like I've been trying to search for certain topics I really wanted to, discuss. And I think the mind of Michael Beasley is probably a topic within itself. But there's some beauty in the fall, right? Because you're going to get a chance to rise, Lord's willing. But sometimes a lot of us are in this place at different points in our lives, and we don't always know how to navigate, or we don't always get out of it. We kind of go through it, and sometimes we come out the other side not the same. And sometimes it's for the best, sometimes it's not. Sometimes you probably needed to keep some things intact, but life is life. When he said choosing family to watch and follow with the knowing that you could possibly die with them, and he chose that, that rings to me as that's what he knew. And with that, he probably could have found some different input, but honestly, he probably wasn't receptive also, because with that is his family. That's all he's known. It's comfort. It's knowing the devil, in the sense of the form of that versus the one you don't, right? There's a lot of different metaphors and sayings we can put into it, but the transparency in which he spoke, tells you where he was mentally when he was making the decision of how do I get to a better place in my life. That within itself is one of the greatest questions. And there's no straight line to the finish line when someone asks that question: how to get to a better place within my life. So we have to choose. It's hard to do all or choose both, because with that you're kind of sort of splitting yourself. And it's hard to focus on something when you do that. Is even more challenging when you're alone and you don't have any guidance, and you're having to just hope you don't go through life and step on landmines, and cease to exist, or you go through life and step on landmines and you come out a little ragged on the other side, and now you have these scars that can't be seen, and as a result, you're just dealing. And that progresses to the second pillar of the talk, choosing to cut family off and die alone. When do we as people have to make the decision that in order for me to get to a better place in my life, I have to do this thing? And if I don't do this thing, I'm going to be worse off if I stay where I'm at. I have to do this thing. I have to be alone. And that's a tough place when you know, like, what you know. Like I said in the beginning, we only know to love who we know to love. And if that love is comforting to you, you can get stuck in that space. So sometimes you may have to venture off alone, but you still have to choose. And I don't think a lot of us have enough emotional maturity at that point in our lives, or 18 and 19, to be able to make that decision, that sound. Because what if I said that none of those decisions that I just mentioned had to be made, because you could choose other things and you didn't have to choose to be alone and cut your family off. You didn't have to choose to be with them and do what they do and watch what they do and mimic it and die. And what if I said there was a third choice, and that saying no and loving them without guilt? Just understanding when to get off the ride, how to navigate the relationships, what to say, what not to say, how to engage, how not to engage, and understanding the relationships that you have with the people you have, and being able to say, I love you guys, but nah, man, I can't do that. Or I love you guys, but nah, man, I can't go there. That one word, man, is uh, is seldomly used with love, in the sense of saying, I'm trying to figure this thing out, and I'm trying to get to a place where I could really, really just be better, right? And hearing that and knowing that and feeling that and hearing him say that and just playing it on repeat, I can respect what he was dealing with, because he's here today and he's able to speak on it. And he's talking about it for people to understand his side. But I know also there's a certain message that he's trying to give to people who may be in the same place, because he felt like he didn't get what he needed to get. And he felt like a lot of it was himself and some of it was other people. And I think me saying that you have to be able to say no and then find a way to love the people you love without guilt, and say, I'm just going to do this because I know it's the right thing to do. And it doesn't feel the best, but it's just the right thing to do. The reason that I think today's talk was important is because we all have to be accountable for what we choose to do and what we choose not to do, and how it affects the people we love. Because in order for us to be able to find some peace, some some centering, in the sense of being able to focus on what makes our life go forward, for us to be able to achieve what we're trying to achieve, and just get to a place of peace, and being able to give back and being able to help grow and establish and build a family and do all those things, we kind of have to be able to make the choice. And sometimes that choice is not easy. Dang, man, like that he said a lot when he said that. And I hope today's talk reached the people it needed to reach, and I hope it helped you. And if it didn't help you, hey, maybe it was for me. But I'd like to think that I'm in a great place. And I'm aware enough to know when I'm not, and I'm aware enough to know what I need to do next. And I'm aware enough to know when I need to not do anything and sit down and ask for assistance. But to everybody's been listening, thank you for listening. And I hope you have a blessed one, and I'll catch you in the next one.